Mindless Behavior at one point had so much potential. I mean, this boy band was the sole opening act for Janet Jackson's 2011 tour. So for years, we seen them on this come up. They making moves, they making money. But with time, we would also see the group fall apart. Fall apart with many different pieces to blame. But one of their biggest was their management, was the people that they were surrounded with as they was coming up.
Be careful, because when you are at a certain level, you have this group of people, whether they're coming from whatever part of the industry, your label, a team that's assigned to you, even it could be as simple as going to do an interview or an appearance. These people do nothing but either idolize you, or it's their jobs to make sure you're as comfortable as possible.
Right.
But sometimes that's not the best for you.
Facts.
Yes men will give you anything you want, no matter your age. It can be drugs, alcohol, whatever your vice is, you know what I mean? But then those people sometimes come from your past.
This group popped off when they were so young, so a lot of them had to learn how to navigate life, not by being in it, but by being in the industry, in the face of the world 24/7. So of course, this was gonna have an effect on them. And this is something we see affect a lot of young celebrities. So where are the Mindless Behavior members today? This was a group put together by Walter Millsap all the way back in 2008. Basically, he wanted to start a band, so he held these auditions. A lot of people came through, but only ended with 4 people actually being a part of the band. Princeton, Rock Royale, Ray Ray, and Prodigy. Hot New Hip Hop will write this. With over 600 hopefuls, Mindless Behavior was conceived in 2008 by Conjunction Entertainment, CEO Walter Millsap, and Streamline Records. The 4 picks were clear standouts from the pack and solidified the group's lineup. For the next 2 years, they immersed themselves in developing their music, sound, and style under their guide. And they came in during a real weird time for the world. This was around Justin Bieber come up. This was Soulja Boy era. This was kind of when the internet would start to take over. The internet was there, but it didn't have the hold that it had during the 2010s yet. Now these 4, they would start to drop this music, and it was picking up traction quick because remember what I said, they had the industry behind them. That man that held them auditions, that wasn't just, some regular nigga. That wasn't just, a regular CEO. That's somebody that know how to work the industry, that know how to make big songs. During the early 2010s, really during Millsap's whole career, looking through some of the work he done did, it makes sense that he was able to put this successful band together. He done produced for Beyonce, Lady Gaga, all of these different big industry giants. So he know how to make something work. And if you look through Mindless Behavior, and if you look through most of their big songs, he was the pushing factor behind it. He was producing these beats. He was really putting this shit together. So like I said, their career started. It's looking good. They getting money. They getting placements. They doing what they need to do. But like with everything, nothing was going to be perfect forever. And as the years would go on, we would see the group start to fall apart. In 2013, we would see a public fallout with the group. Prodigy, one of the main members, had rumors coming out that he might lead the group. And as these rumors was flowing around and people online were speculating, his mom would come out telling the world that, look, Prodigy is done with him. He did in fact lead the group. And at the time, we really didn't have a clear reason as to why he left. But recently, past few years, he would do an interview speaking on it. And it kind of boiled down to a few things. Bad management, him feeling mistreated by their overheads, and he said specifically Keisha Gamble was real strict on him. And it got to a point where he was wondering if his management even liked him. Because he's saying they was together, they working, and it was always, everybody was so strict on him. But it wasn't everybody. It was just him. Out of all the group, he was the only one getting treated like this. He was the only one that felt out of place. He was the only one that felt like, maybe I shouldn't be here. And it was messing with his brain, it was messing with his mental health, even as a young nigga, because he like, I can tell that I'm not wanted here. And he never understood why he wasn't wanted there.
I'm tired of being the one that's misunderstood, I didn't leave the group to pursue a solo career. What happened was I was getting treated bad in the camp, I was being called names. I was being called sociopath, and at one point they tried to turn the guys against me. So it caused jealousy in the group at one point. And so I never wanted to just leave my bros, but being young and being in the industry can be really hard, especially when you in a group. And Yeah, man, y'all just keep adding everybody. I want everybody to hear this. Because, you know, this is why I get bashed. Because everyone misunderstood the story because I've never came out with it. So it was a bunch of made up stories that came out to you guys, and it made me look like the bad guy, pretty much like, forget the guys, I'm gonna go solo, I got this. I was never even thinking like that. You know, like I said, I was being mistreated in the group. I was being called names, you know, by the camp, people in our camp, you know, just like I wasn't even no human being, you know. And I was only like, what, probably 14, 15 at the time. And like I said, at one point, they turned the guys against me. And, you know, I just couldn't take it no more. I started getting depressed. And then y'all wonder why I never really talked in interviews. I wasn't enjoying my career. I was depressed. And, you know, to the whole world, it looked like Prod just said, forget us, when it was never that at all. You know, you guys know I love you guys and I appreciate all the support. And the reason why I actually left is because also what had happened, I love my mom, I love my dad, I love both of my parents, I'm tight with them. And you know, when the documentary came out, you know, the way that whoever edited the documentary, which I think it was Awesomeness TV, they edited it to where my dad got most of the credit, you know. So it was a little jealousy right there with my mom and with my dad, you know. My mom was a little jealous of my dad getting a little more of the credit, you know. But I love my mom and everything, and at the time I was really depressed. I was really depressed and just wanted to just give everything up. I just said, forget all of it. Like, I'd rather live a regular life than to be treated wrong in this camp. And I never wanted to leave the group in that type of way to where it's like, man, forget you boys, I'm gonna do my thing. It was never like that, man. It was never like that.
So Pride leads this group, and instead of it just being 3 people, they would end up adding another artist, EJ. So now it's still 4 of them, but it's a new member. And that was all good until within a year of Pride leaving, another member of the group would have his own issues get through him, Rock Royal. Now the thing with him is, he wasn't getting mistreated, but this nigga was a crash out, a D1 crash out. He would be crashing over any and everything was bad. If we go back to July 2014, videos will be coming out online of Rock Royale, or his other name, Santo August, beating somebody up. Footage will come out of him beating up this drug addict who allegedly owed him some money, which, if we saying anything, this was a drug addict off the street who owed him some money. So how much could he have possibly owed you? People online were speculating that it was $10 he owed this nigga and that he was trying to prove a point, but it happened on film. And of course, this was gonna have the management second guessing having bro part of this band. Cause what do you mean we this boy band that get up here singing, doing this R&B, and you beating niggas up? So at this point, he ain't just affecting his career, he affecting the brand whole image. And so they looked at him, they're like, bro, you got consistent money coming in your pocket, yet you out here beating niggas up. And they let it slide. Well, I don't know if they let it slide, they probably had talked with him or something, but he didn't get kicked from the group over this. But what did get him kicked out is him digging himself into deeper and deeper holes, because it sounded like he was in too deep into the street life, because less than 4 months after beating up this old nigga, he would get accused of stealing. Not just, you know, he might have stole something out the store, he might have stole a game, he might have, you know what I mean? No. This nigga was stealing, not just from anybody, but his producer, Chris Clark. He was steal his BMW. BET would write this all the way back in 2014. 17-year-old Rock Royal of Mindless behavior is the main suspect in the vehicle theft that took place on Monday, November 3rd. The vehicle in question is a BMW 325i, which belongs to his record producer, Chris Clark. The luxury car went missing after Clark's Hollywood studio session with Royal, and that's what law enforcement sources told the site. According to their investigation, Clark left the keys on the table in the studio, but when he went to get them, both the keys and Royal was gone. Clark then contacted Royal, threatening to go to the cops if he didn't return the vehicle ASAP. He refused to cooperate. forcing Clark to report the car stolen. And before I keep going on, make sure you tap in with me on Instagram at GetLikePrincee. I'm trying to grow my brand over there. A follow would be appreciated. And my nigga, you this far in the video, you might as well. So with all this BS going around Rock name, to no one's surprise, he would get dropped from the group. And I mean, he asked for it. You doing all of this, you rob niggas, you beating people up when you don't even have to be on none of that. You getting money, yet you still want to partake in these street activities. And Rock was claiming that they fired him over text. And you would probably think, you know, he let this have such a negative impact on his life. He might learn. He didn't have all of this negativity coming in his life because that's what he was putting out. Maybe he changed from this. Maybe he learns from this. No, sir. His story keeps getting worse. And right now, he's in a worse position than he's ever been. So if we go back years, right, we would see this man get locked up. I mean, years of trouble led him to this moment. So I don't think people was really surprised, I hate to say it. And in 2016, Royal would get locked up, but not on no little charges. I mean, he got booked on a lot. An article will write this. Rock Royal, who went by the name Santo August, was arrested in February 2016 on charges of battery, weapon possession, and robbery. In July the same year, the rapper pled guilty and requested a reduced sentence in exchange. He was supposed to be out of prison in 2018, but remains behind bars to this day. And so even right now, Rock Royal is still behind bars. And I've been searching through the internet for updates on this, and I can't really find no big updates on his case. But every once in a while, he will get online. He might drop a pic. He might post something. He might let the world know that he's still here and that he still appreciates everybody's support. And after Rock would get kicked out, Prodigy would come back. But Prodigy wasn't a permanent member. He was just a placeholder. That nigga Prodigy was there until they found somebody to replace him. So around this time, 2014, 2015, the group shifted around so much to a point where there was only one original member left during that time period. And so the group would slowly fall apart. As time would go on, they would drop music. They would do this every once in a while. And they would drop one last project back in 2016 called Official MB Music. But the lore behind this album was real interesting. Y'all know how movies and games and just media products might go through development hell sometimes, where behind the scenes, everything is falling apart. Basically, that's what happened with this album. It went through a period of getting delayed and delayed and delayed. At one point, it was called a whole different name. It was called Recharge, and it was promo runs surrounding this album. It wasn't like, oh, it's just a title in the air. No, there was a whole promo run behind this album. They was like, you know, Chris Brown and R. Kelly, out of all people, wrote a good bit of the songs on the project. They was working with all these big people in the industry. There was even YouTube videos of them discussing how much they want to put out this album. So it wasn't a rumor. This was the project. It was called Recharge. And it was excitement there for this project.
It's actually the first day we're gonna start recording. We're gonna do these two songs, Oh You Mad and We Do. And they're both written by R&B legend R. Kelly, which is crazy that those are the first songs we recorded for this album, and they're written by R. Kelly, so I'm very excited. This is about to be crazy. That's all I can say. That's the word. This is the atmosphere and everything's just gonna be crazy, though.
But the project would get scrapped and then turn into the last project we would ever get from the group, Official MB Music. And the reason this was the last project was because not even a year later, the group would disband. But them disbanded don't mean the end of the story. So the group breaks up, but these people are still people. They still have platforms. They still got online relevance. So as the years would go on, we would hear more and more of them. More coming out talking about their experiences with the group issues with other people. And one of these big moments would be when Ray Ray would do interviews speaking on everything.
How was it being so big and still living in Compton? How do people treat you guys? Like,
well, we stayed in Compton for like the next few years, I would say, till at least. So I started when I was 13. We ended up staying here at least I was like 15, maybe 16.
Yeah.
It was both odd, but it was also, I think it was good for us because we come from the streets.
Yeah.
I come from South Central LA. So I'm like leaving, you know what I mean, my family that are like living in an apartment building and we're surviving, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To like 5-star hotels and restaurants, tour bus and whatever I want is handed to me, you know, yes man, the whole little thing.
Yeah.
So I actually feel like it was good that we were going back to Compton. I was even going back to the hood sleeping on couches and shit because it humbled me.
Yes.
It showed me like what not to forget and what to respect.
Yeah.
And to appreciate where I came from. But at the same time, that shit was uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I said, I'm staying in 5-star hotels and I'm on BET and I'm on all this shit.
You going back?
But I'm going back. Zone, I was so in my own world. I was so focused on Rayon at this point.
Yes.
And Ray Twice, I had, the clothing brand going. I was working on music. I was living in my own apartment up in North Hollywood. Like, I was literally living my own life. And at this point, everything is so destroyed in a way that I'm not even thinking. I'm like, okay, it's been 2 years since we dropped the album, or like about a year since we dropped the album. Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So at this point, I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna just focus on me. I'm not even worried about the group. And then I get a call like, hey, we want you to do replacements. Da, da, da. It's my first time really meeting EJ too. So we go to Atlanta, and I think EJ was there if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. We go to Atlanta, and we're staying at R. Kelly's house. Right. And he wanted to do a few tracks for us. And I was so not feeling it at this point. I'm so out of touch with the group. Yeah, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you just lost hope. Like, yeah, no, yeah, it was. You started your own brand. Like, you clearly lost hope of the brand. So I just remember, bro, that trip was crazy. I'll never forget that trip.
So Ray Ray had issues with the group, but he wasn't the only one that came out and said something. Prodigy, another member of the group, would also come out speaking on issues that he had with the group coming up.
I just gotta get this story out so y'all can know I'm not like that. Like, we got taken advantage of, and yeah, man, look at New Edition story. Like, it's always hard doing a group. It's always hard doing a group. Yeah, I can't even lie, y'all. It can be hard sometimes to keep going on. Sometimes I just felt like I just wanted to just give up, because I felt like you guys hated me. Like, I just wanted to just stop everything. Like, I would never be able to just please you guys no more, because everybody thinks Prod did this. Prod left the group. He said forget the guys. He don't like his brothers. He don't like us. It was never like that. So I'm just speaking as a human being right now. I felt like quitting. Like I said, I love my mom, I love my dad. No matter what happened back in that time, they made sure I was good. Like my dad, he'll always motivate me and be like, son, it's all good. Keep pushing, man. Keep pushing. He said, I ain't gonna let you quit. I just wanted you guys to know this story. And y'all can record this. Y'all can post it on y'all, whatever. Tag the Teen Shade Rooms. Let them get a hold of it too. Because I feel like Team Mindless needs to know that Prodigy did not leave to pursue a solo career and swear he was just going to blow up and be better than Mindless behavior, and it was never like that. That's why in interviews I was like, let me fall back, let me let my bros talk, because they had me working my tail off in the studio. I was singing all the lyrics, but I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I sung all the lyrics. That's not me. That's not my character. So I was like, let me fall back. Let me let my bros talk. Cause I was feeling like I'm I already get enough of attention. Just being in front and all of that. Cause me having a big heart, I'm like, no, I feel bad. Let me let my bros talk.
Keep moving. You gotta keep pushing in life. We hit tough times sometimes, but you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. Like, cause it's really easy to fall into that hole of depression and thinking about your life, and it's just a lot of stuff. But you gotta push through it. Tell yourself to be strong. You can make it through any obstacle in life, because life is full of different obstacles, and life tests us. I feel like God tests us. I'm pushing. I've been through depression. I've been through all of that, but guess who was still there rocking for me when I went through all of that? It was y'all. And I appreciate y'all for that. And that's why I humbly say that. Because I've felt, so just know that when y'all comment under my pictures, y'all like my pictures, like every day, notification going off. And, I appreciate the love and support from y'all. I don't take none of it for granted. I'm so humble, keeping God first, being genuine, being me.
But it wasn't just management issues or people being unhappy. There was some internal issues brewing. I mean, it's beef brewing between these niggas. Ray done spoke multiple times on how him and Prince ain't been cool and how he don't even want to talk to the nigga. He ain't even start referring to him as Prince. He was referring to him as boy. Like, you could tell it's problems between these two off how he was speaking on him.
You still talk to Prodigy. You still talk to Rock Royal. Do you talk to Prince?
Him and I don't talk because of like personal things. It's not, there's no beef. It was just, you know, some situations that happened. And as you can see, like you said, like I'm guarded. I care about my peace. I care about my happiness. I care about the things that bring me just pure joy in life. And I'm the type of person, and I guess it could be scary. I've been told by friends and family that it's a scary part of me. Like, when I cut somebody off, like, you genuinely become non-existent to me. I don't believe in that whole, like, let's figure it out and we can still be cool and da-da. I feel like once you show any signs of, like, betrayal or just, like, disloyalty.
Prince, how y'all relationship? What's going on? Not good at all. We don't even speak. I don't even care to speak to the kid. What's going on? You know, we keep it real on this platform. You know what I mean? In a nutshell, and I'm not just saying this because it's me or I'm being biased at all. In a nutshell, it literally had nothing to do with me. Just like things on his end that was being said about me that were getting back to me from like secure people that like, if they said it, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? Or just run into people that are like, oh, he did this, he done that, he said this, he said that. I don't do the he say, she say, you know what I mean? But also, y'all have to understand that I've been in a group with this kid for 5 years. Yeah. I know how he maneuvered.
But what is each member even up to today? So the group separated, some problems are there, but a good bit of them went out, sparked their own solo careers. Prince been dropping his own music over the years. I mean, he got a single that was doing decent from a couple months ago. And not too long ago, he would speak on why he left the group and his life. Now, Ray career been real similar to Prince's. After he left the group, you heard him say him and Prince had problems. It didn't really turn into no huge beef, but these two seeming like they not cool no more. But Ray been dropping music. He ain't dropped a single since 2023, but the man was seeming consistent for a good bit. He was feeding the streets for a little bit, up until recently. Rock Royal, we already know where he's at. That man been in prison for a long time, and we really don't have an idea on when he gonna get out. But recently, Mindless Behavior was together at one point, and they was speaking on Rock. They was like, you know, he coming home soon. And while researching this part, I did find an old IG Live clip of him back in 22, where he was just speaking on his life, speaking on his kids, speaking on the fans.
Damn, it's been a minute though. It's been a minute. I'm sure y'all got my motherfucking info. I put my JPay and shit out there just to make sure, you know, y'all could be able to write me and shit like that. But when y'all do write me from JPay, make sure, bro, y'all put y'all address and shit on there. Because without y'all address, I'm not going to be able to respond back. And that's like bun. I know y'all want me to respond back, and I would love to, you know, at least build, you know, connections and shit with you guys. Let y'all know, you feel me, on hood. I respect all the love and support. If it's one thing y'all don't do for me, just make sure y'all look out for my kids. Let my kids know for sure that y'all got all they support, you feel me? That y'all out there supporting them and shit like that, man. I appreciate all the love though. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody though. Shout out to all my loved ones. Shout out to all the fans. Shout out to all of the great supporters for sure, man. To be honest, I'm actually going through all my letters and shit right now. And yeah, y'all for sure sending a whole lot. So if I don't write back, just know that I'll get back at you as soon as possible after I'm done writing to everybody else. But on it though, what else? Shit, send pictures, send cash apps, send JPay dollars. A nigga do need some money to spend. I for sure gotta go to the store and shit like that. So make sure y'all do that. What else? Shit. Thank you to everybody though, for sure. I appreciate all the love.
Prodigy. This the nigga that's really been going viral recently. He been going viral because videos came out of him working at Amazon. Now, and let me say this, ain't nothing wrong with that. A nigga getting his money is a nigga getting his money, but you know how the internet get. They see something like this and forget that these celebrities is just regular people like us. These niggas gotta get money how we get money. So one day, a clip online will come out of Prodigy. He working at Amazon. And even though this clip did drop, people did have things to say, that don't mean his life ain't really been good. Just a few weeks ago, he would come out telling the world that, you know, he just had a kid. So really, each of these members is just going down their own path. Some taking music more serious than others, some just doing what they want to do. But just yesterday, or it might have been the day before that, while I was writing this video, Mindless Behavior of all times would get on stream with Deshae Frost. The timing of this was crazy because why when I decided to make a video on these niggas, they actually go do a stream. And I would play a clip from the stream, but Deshae Frost like to take people videos down that use this clip. If you don't know nothing about Deshae Frost, go watch my boy Cameron's videos that he dropped on. So just know, I will never be using no Deshae Frost clips on this channel. This was really a real interesting story, a weird pipeline we see many child actors or celebrities go down, like a full life of mental health struggles. Cause you do gotta understand, these people didn't grow up regular like us. They didn't grow up a regular life. They grew up working day in and day out during their childhood. They brain developing and they not at school, you know, making friends. Nigga, they in the studio, they on the stage, they on tour. They didn't grow up like us. They grew up in front of the world. So yeah, they had money growing up, or at least it seemed like they had money growing up. But you're still a person at the end of the day. And ain't no telling how that affects. And sometimes I do think about that. Like, I know I'm not a huge YouTuber or anything yet, but I'm always thankful that my YouTube did start popping after I became an adult. Because I feel like my perception of life would have been so different if I was making the money that I was making now back when I was 15, 16 years old and I didn't have to work jobs and deal with bad managers and deal with all the real life shit that come along with that. No clue what kind of person I would have been today if I was some famous ass YouTuber at 10 years old. And it ain't no telling how different they would have been if their whole life didn't revolve around music. What if they started popping later on in life? But how do y'all feel about the group? I'm glad that most of them are doing good for the most part. Hopefully Rock Ray will get out soon, he change his life around, but they is doing good. What do y'all think?